Hi everyone, good afternoon. My name is Shazlin Rodzain and welcome to this highly anticipated webinar, Can You Hack It? Hackathon, which is run by Hong Leong Bank. So before we start, I'd like to introduce myself again. My name is Shazlin Rodzain. You may call me Shazlin throughout this event if you want to comment or anything. So I am from the Partnerships and Ecosystem team, and today we'll be running a webinar session on our Can You Hack It? Hackathon surrounding generative AI. So unleash the potential of generative AI. So before we start, I would just like to run through our program of the day. We'll start off with an introduction of Can You Hack It by Kelvin Wu, who is our head of ecosystem and partnerships. Later on, after that session, we'll start with our webinar and I'll introduce you guys to our panel members. And then we'll follow up and close up the session with a short Can Ask Us Anything question, which we will then help you to answer your questions or inquiries or any concerns regarding the hackathon. So without further ado, I would like to bring Kelvin into this session for him to introduce about Can You Hack It? Hackathon from Hong Leong Bank. Kelvin, up to you.
Thank you so much, Shazlin. Hi, everybody. I'm Kelvin. I head up the Ecosystem Partnership and also Innovation Labs team here at Hong Leong Bank. And we're really glad to welcome you here to this particular session. So for Can You Hack It? For Hong Leong Bank, we have been organizing it for the past 6 years. And some of the themes that we have covered from financial inclusivity, omni-channel customer experience, data-thon, and last year, metaverse and hyper-personalization. And this year, we're coming back greater and more exciting, where we want you, the audience at home, to unleash the power of generative AI. So why do we organize our annual hackathon? We want to discover the best idea coming from you, and we want to discover the best talent as well that we can find for Hong Leong Bank. And for this year's theme, generative AI, we want you to create solutions, and to find the most innovative solutions surrounding customer experience and also workplace experience. So right now, you can see that at the bottom of your screen, there's a QR code. You can click the Apply Now button on the website. So our application has already opened. It will close on the 13th of November. And right after that, on the 15th of November, we will inform the successful applicants to participate in the pre-hack briefing on the 17th of November. And we will have a preliminary round on the 18th and also 19th of November over the weekend, where there will be a focus on developing the minimum viable product. And from that round, we will have 30 teams shortlisted and will be invited to participate in the in-person hackathon in Hong Leong Tower on the 25th and also 26th. So on the 25th and 26th of November, that's where we have the semi-finals and also grand finals round, where we will have the demo day, and the top 10 final team will then pitch to a panel of judges consisting of Hong Leong Bank C-suite and also some of our partners. So some of the problem statements that we have this year, like what I've mentioned, is around customer experience. So for example, we want you to find and discover the most innovative solution. For example, in customer financial management, in financial and wealth planning, how can you use generative AI in helping our customers to do that? And in workplace experience, that helps you, that we want you to find a solution to help new employees to be onboarded, in a comfortable way, and also see how Gen AI can be used as a co-pilot to help onboard employees, and in transforming the way that we onboard our employees right now. So there will be a link prompted below. Click the link and also scan the QR code, click the Apply Now button, and if you have any questions, pop by in the chat. So over to you, Shazlin.
Thank you so much, Kelvin, for that very insightful brief. So I hope our participants have gotten a little bit more information on how our Can You Hack It Hackathon will run this year and surrounding the theme. But no worries, I think our session now, we will dive deeper into the discussion of our Can You Hack It Hackathon. So let me just run through a little bit on what we'll be discussing. So we'll start with a little bit discussion on generative AI, and we'll touch a bit on our problem statements and also an experience from our previous hackers, which is Ray. We'll introduce them more now. So I'll start by introducing everyone. So on my further left is Melvin Munn. He is the head of our project delivery team. And welcome, Melvin. Maybe you can wave a bit.
Hey guys.
And beside Melvin, we have Shailesh Grover. He is our Chief Digital Innovation Officer. Shailesh, you want to say hi to your camera?
Hello.
Okay, and beside me here, we have Rishinder Ramesh. So Rishinder Ramesh is an executive from our partnerships and ecosystem team.
Hi everyone.
Okay, so he is also one of our hired from our last year's hackathon. Okay, so I hope everyone's feeling very excited today to be talking
Let's
sharing
go.
and everything. Let's go, let's do
Let's
this,
go.
yeah?
Friday, let's go do it.
It's a Friday as well, yes. Let's end this with like a big bang.
Yep.
Yeah? Okay. So before I start, I would like to say thank you so much to everyone who's tuning in live. If you do have any questions or concerns or any inquiries, please drop them off at the comment section. We will get back to you at the end of this session. So no worries, we're filtering through the questions so you are not ignored, so don't worry about that. But before that, let's move on with our conversation today. Okay. So I believe this will be a very interesting discourse and I would say discussion for us all, especially to our participants, as we will touch more on, I would say, major topics for the participants to implement in their projects for this year's Can You Hack It Hackathon. So generative AI, there's a lot of buzz and interesting talks about it, right? So it's really interesting how generative AI has breakthrough different variety of fields and industries, from financial institutions or entertainment. I would say at the top in my list right now, I have like natural language processing and also art design and copywriting, and use it on your social media almost every day. So I would like to kickstart the discussion with just setting up a foundation of our topic today. So I want to start with Melvin. So Melvin, what is generative AI?
Okay. So I guess every participant here or people who are joining online probably would know of what generative AI is because of the theme of the hackathons, and I guess the buzzword around ChatGPT has been going around, right? I guess probably 99% of the audience would have using ChatGPT today. But going down to the explanation of what generative AI is, I always like to use metaphor to sort of explain about this generative AI. So imagine today musician composer, right? Learning about multiple tones, music tones, instruments and such. And that's where the beauty of knowing so many such instruments and then combining it together to compose a song, right? So this is where generative AI being different with the conventional AI, which is piecing a lot of existing information to create a new things out from it. So that's where generative AI has been very disruptive in the space today, creating a whole new stuff that we have ever imagined before from some of the existing informations. So hence a lot of this breakthrough has been, like Shazin mentioned about, regardless of the industry, there's definitely a lot of opportunity of creating new things, and hence Gen AI is here to kind of facilitate all this sort of creation of new stuff, right? So hence, this particular hackathon, we are really excited to see what our participants can really create out from this. So yep, that's my explanation for.
That's an interesting, thank you so much for your take on that. I think I would just like to add like an example. I would like to pose this question to Ray. On your daily basis working,
Right.
do you use any Gen AI product?
Right. I think I rather use more when I was a student. So when I was during a student, I was studying Bachelor in Virtual Reality. So many of my day-to-day aspect of my task involves coding. So and I believe coding is one of the very hardest subject to tackle. At least for me, it was. And during that time, yes, I used about 99% of my time using ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Like, hey, type me a line of code,
Okay.
enter, and it just gives me. So in that prospect, I use ChatGPT most of the time, like
Yeah.
99.99%.
That's a very
That's
a very high percentage.
Yeah, that's a very high percentage.
Yeah, okay, I would agree with you because I use ChatGPT to do my script as well for today. So yeah, and then I think let's move on to another question to Shailesh. Okay, so Shailesh, what are some impactful applications of generative AI that you have seen over the years?
So there's plenty of applications of AI and now generative AI that we've been using for, I would say, multiple decades subconsciously. The simplest one and the most, I guess, silly one is how do you sort your email and things like that. You know, we used to set up rules and do it, and then the rules started to evolve. That I would argue is the most simple one that everybody has been using since the first cloud application, Hotmail, you know, the one I started off with. And then it just, if you're using a smartphone, there are multiple use cases that you don't even know use AI and some Gen AI. If you use Netflix or any of these you know, streaming tools or apps, they all recommend based on AI. If you have read or seen or, you know, come across a video or a news clip of autonomous vehicles, all Gen AI. Talk about smart homes, all AI. So, you know, it's a lot out there that we are currently using. The auto text correct and all that stuff is all using those kind of things. So every single one, whether you are tech savvy or not tech savvy, you are using some form of AI or Gen AI today. And you've been using it for a while, you just didn't know it was called that. The other thing the technology has evolved. So I built one of the first fire protection expert systems in 1992. And it was a pain because it was this thick a book and we had to extract rules and policies and then code it and, you know, have all the permutation. It was a heuristics based. I don't even remember the tool we used because it's very, very complex. If I was, you know, given that task today, I would just ingest the, you know, thing and start asking questions in 5 seconds. So technology has evolved for you guys to be able to do a lot of things much more easier as opposed to what it used to be in, you know, let's say 2 decades ago.
Thank you for that. I would like to ask like a follow-up question. So you've experienced all the changes in generative AI and innovative changes. How do you feel about, are we ready as a financial service industry? Are we ready to incorporate Gen AI? And what's your take on that?
So today, Gen AI is already being used in many banks and non-banking but financial institutions. It's just a question of who's using it for which specific use case. I would argue almost every bank out there is doing some sort of a pilot or a POC, if not you know, something that's already full-fledged, available to consumers or available to employees. So there's a lot out there. Whether you talk about Asia, whether you talk about US, UK, Europe in general, right? Now, are you ready? Well, you don't have a choice. If you don't embark on this bandwagon, you will be missing. It's like, you know, 20 years ago when you know, the smartphone got launched in 2007, the iPhone. And a couple of years later, there was a whole buzz about digital. Today, if you're not digital, you're done. You don't have a business to stand on, right? So, and that took a while before every financial institution came up with the right digital experiences and things like that for it to be mature, for consumer adoption to be there. Gen AI, like I said, everybody's been using it. If not Gen, it's AI for sure. They just didn't know. And now that the tools are out there, and there's a lot of different positive use cases, barring the negative connotation that you probably read in the press about how can it be fair, how can it be you know, ethical. All those things are still valid. When humans are doing it, the bias comes in by default. Now it's a system doing it, but the humans are programming the systems, or the humans are guiding the systems. So we just have to make sure those things are done in a way that we build it in a fair, for a fairer outcome. So if we don't do it, we will slowly become you know, obsolete very quick. And that's the reason why I say it's not a choice that we have. Everybody has to do it.
I see. Okay, thank you for that. And I think that's why we want to develop our hackathons surrounding that theme. So we can touch into, like, we are working in a corporate and a financial industry. So there are things that are a bit constrained towards us. So, but when we open it up to our participants, to the university students, to the tech enthusiasts, they may have solutions that we ourselves have not seen before. So I think that's why this hackathon is a good place for both our corporate financial institutions and also university students, tech enthusiasts, to just pop on and try a new project and see if we can implement it, you know? So thank you so much for that take. And with that, I would like to bounce it off with Melvin. So Melvin is our project delivery, head of our project delivery team. So Melvin, at Hong Leong Bank, we have been at the forefront of discovering new technologies, new innovative solutions, right? Can you share with us what are some of the projects that we have experimented in your team specifically?
Okay.
Yeah.
So as what Shanish mentioned rightly, there's definitely tons of Gen AI is already happening today in the bank, just that maybe it's not being called Gen AI. But right now, I think the team we are within us is, and the whole Hong Leong Bank itself, is really spearheading and also accelerating the experimental stuff into the deep Gen AI itself, right? Because a lot of aspects that we have not think about, right? Just like some of them mentioned about, you know, copywriting, marketing, and such. I think one of the closest one has been always the talk of the town from customer is, how would I know what sort of product actually suits me, right? So this is where Gen AI comes in, not just linking on what sort of patterns of transaction you would deem to suitable for you, but now with the generative AI coming out with multiple combination that will probably create a new product that might suit our new customer, right? So there's still a lot of exploration just talking about product itself, right? But down to not just product, when it comes to service as well, right? So imagine today, you know, as branch still exists in the footfall for customer today, coming into the branch, imagine today you already, the Gen AI will sort of kind of anticipate what sort of needs that you actually need to visit the branch, and all this will sort of lay it out for you before you even start asking the question to, let's say, the teller, right? So all this kind of Gen AI sort of accelerate sort of the possibility when it comes to this, and this is where we want to get it on to more towards the next leap of what technology can actually do for our customers, right? And hence, not just looking at what tech can do, but I think we fall very strongly on our core, which is built around you, our customer. So this is where a lot of things is, when tech meets customer needs, that's where the sweet spot will come, be it a Gen AI. So that's where comes to experimental product, everything close to our customer. This is where we, our heart and soul is actually at, and with any things that we do, is for our customer itself.
Thank you, Melvin. I think that's an important point for our participant, especially because our problem statements are focused on customer experience and also workplace experience. So I hope that our future participants have gotten like a few insight from Melvin's point and also Shailesh's point on generative AI and how we are looking towards to implement it in our financial institutions and take that into your projects, your Can You Hack It hackathon project. Okay, so I think we've covered quite a number of points on generative AI. Let's move on to our hackathon experience now. So, yeah? So I would like to introduce again, this is Ray. Ray is our success stories. We like to call him our success story because we hired him from our last year's hackathon. So he joined us as a hacker on our Can You Hack It Hackathon 2022, and he's here with us today to share a little bit more background insight on what he has gotten. Okay, so let me just go through my questions for a bit. So Ray, you participated in our last year's hackathon, which is a metaverse and also hyper-personalization theme, right? So can you share with us and also the audience, what are your main takeaways from that, from your experience last year?
Right. So just to give a brief context again, I'm from a creative industry or creative background, so I studied Bachelor in Virtual Reality. So when I first joined in the hackathon, I assumed everything was just about the solution. So how good it is, how the design was it beautiful, how is it feasible or attractive to the audience, right? But I've never really thought about the end process, the back process of it, the user's case point, the design thinking prospect. How can the users actually engage with the application so that it's very beneficial to them, and the customer stickiness in a sense. So I came in here without those knowledge. And what I would like to primarily say for the key takeaways is that during the hackathon, we had a lot of mentors coming in. We had a lot of, I would say, within the HLB staff coming in. They were giving you a lot of feedbacks. So during that 24 hours, it was actually really inspiring. It was really beneficial for me as a student and also as an individual, because I didn't get this kind of information back in uni. So I just went in with a blank canvas, that hey, this is my solution, take it. If not, just leave it. But I gained back a lot in return. So my key takeaways, I will say, is that I learned from a customer-centric point of view what they will need. I learned to alter my solution based on that. And at the end of the day, it's what the customers want, is what they need, compared to what you want and what you want to show to them. So those are my key takeaways, I would say, from the hackathon itself. And of course, the food, the drinks, the ambience, the many people they will meet across the tech enthusiast community, the student community. It's a very welcoming energy and vibe to it.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's really good to know, especially to share with our audiences. Would you say that the environment, was it very supportive for you and your teams?
Yeah.
Would you elaborate a bit, like how supportive was our judges, our mentors to your team, also to other teams as well?
Right. So, so I came in as a top 40. So we were shortlisted to the top 40, and then I came in and I participated. And during the 24 hours, we had various from mentors, ranging from the technical side, from the business side. We also had one of my colleagues. She came in and also gave some advice directly. So these kind of small feedbacks were very useful in curating my solution and kind of upgrading my solution itself. So it's an improvisation. And it's a very, I would say, during that 24 hours, a very judge-free kind of zone. So they will never point out, or at least during my session, we didn't point out anything, oh, that's wrong, what you did is not right. It's just, it's always how can we alter it, how can we curate it in a different sense to fit the user's needs. So it's a very supportive, very engaging kind of environment that I was been through. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Because Ray and I are from the same team, so we were trying to work. Actually, we're planning and everything for doing the hackathon and everything together.
Yeah.
So we know that back end,
Yep.
there's a lot of facilitators, mentors that we are working with, that we are trying to help them to also help you guys. So don't worry about the mentors and facilitators, because they are fully trained. We also have partners who are coming in to support. So I think in terms of supporting your project for advice and everything, we are fully equipped, and we have a list of extensive of, I would say, experts, judges and mentors, facilitators in Hong Leong Bank and also outside of Hong Leong Bank, which is our partners and members itself. Okay. So
Sorry,
yeah.
can I add
Yeah,
on
yeah,
to that?
sure,
So
definitely.
basically, like what Shazzy mentioned, we have 3 aspects of facilitators, mentors, and judges.
Yeah.
Mentors and judges are pretty self-explanatory. Mentors, they will just kind of mentor you, guide you throughout the session itself. Judges, they'll come in typically during the final stage, the demo day, the grand finale, I would say. And facilitators, here's where it's a bit tricky, not tricky, it's a bit unique this year. So like what I mentioned, I came in here without the prospect of the understanding of design thinking, the end users, right, the customer-centric. So for this year, we are incorporating that feature where we have facilitators well equipped with the knowledge of design thinking, where they will sit with the teams itself in kind of explaining and also curating their solution and alter it based on their problem statements. So for example, let's just say team A, they take problem statement of CX1, right? So we'll handpick the facilitator to facilitate that specific team and kind of gauge and guide them on how they can upgrade their current solution, or if they have not any solution yet, they will come up together, we kind of brainstorm what kind of ideas they have, because the facilitators, all of them are from HLB internal staff. So they will guide them on what are the bank's needs, what are we looking forward to, what's our end goal. Like what Melvin also mentioned, most of us is now, we are all focused on build around you. So with this knowledge in mind, when the participants comes in, we can ensure that all solution at the end of the day is something beneficial and also something good for the bank itself, and also for, of course, for the participants themselves. So yeah, just wanted to add in, chime in with this
Yeah, of course.
as
Thank
well.
you so much. That's really an important point.
Yeah.
And since we're in the topic of mentors and judges, Shailesh and Melvin has been our mentors and judges for like 5 years, because we've run this program for 5 years and we're hitting our 6th year this time. So I think I would like to pose a question to Shailesh first. As a judge, what do you look for in a winning team? Like, how do you know that that team has what it takes to win with the project? Yeah.
So a few things. The first thing is, what's the team makeup, right? And what kind of skills and deliberation the team brings to the table. Because it's less about, yes, you had a problem and you worked on the problem and you came up with a solution. That's relatively the easy part. Yes, some might struggle to do it in time, others might, but eventually you will get there with all the help that you have. The trick is, if let's say we have to put money on the table, do you have what it takes to take your, let's say, idea or your proof of concept or whatever you come up with in the 24 hours to a level which will be of value to the bank and the bank's customers, right? Which is where I go back to the makeup of the team. Does the team have the mettle to push it to the next level? Obviously, it doesn't mean if it's a team of 3, that's the only 3 that will take it forward. You will get a lot of help. But is it the right skill set? Is it the right? Or if we buddy them up with type A, type B, will they be able to navigate and push it through? Do they have the patience, persistence, tenacity to take it through? The other bit, I say all these things are important because we are a regulated entity. We are a bank. So when it comes to hackathon, I say this in every hackathon, I don't want you to worry about what the regulation says, what compliance says, because there are more people paid in the bank to tell you why you cannot do stuff as opposed to how you can make things happen.
That is true.
Right? But that's just life. But once we get past the proof of concept or the idea or whatever it is, and we have to go prime time, then that's the time where we have to make sure we are complying, we are not risking anything, we are not introducing any new risks that we cannot mitigate or manage. That's where that part comes into play. But I don't want you guys to be restricting your thought process during the hackathon, right? The other bit is, yes, the team would have given you a whole bunch of stuff as in problem statements. Those are all good statements. You ask a banker, they will give you banking problems. But I will flip the question and even throw a curveball for you guys to think about. And that's to again tease how you start the thought process. If we had to start off a bank which is purely based on Gen AI, if you look at the customer life cycle or the employee life cycle, or a combination of the two, what would that look like? And again, you can't do the whole thing in soup to nuts, but is there a piece where you can pick up and say, should it be like that? If it's a plain whiteboard, this is how we can add value. So think out of the box. Very, very important. Think on behalf of the customer. Very, very important. It's not just about the look. The thing looks pretty, and and the UI is great, but it's not usable. Think, will it make life easier and not make banking feel like a chore? I think that's very, very important, because banking is not the most sexy thing. It's the most boring thing. You have to do it because you don't have a choice. You have to park your money somewhere. If you need money from someone. That's the only 2 things we do, right? But how do you make it such that it doesn't feel like a chore, and it enables customers' life moments, right? And life moments, the way we see it inside the bank, are only 2 types. One is things that happen on a regular basis. Buying coffee, taking public transport, driving, parking, basic stuff. Other is which is episodic. Buying a home, buying a car, all that stuff. Those are things that people care about. They don't care about getting a loan. If you don't have money, yes, you need to go get a loan. It's called a loan. It could be a credit card, it could be a mortgage, it could be a personal loan, it could be an auto loan, whatever it is. But then how do you come up with whatever you come up with using the right enabling tech to make these journeys seamless? And I'm saying again, don't stick to what the bank tells you. If you have a better idea, please by all means go ahead and do it, because that's even more exciting for us to know that you really went out of the box and you have the tenacity to push it through and make a case, because that's what we care about. That's what we look in a team.
Thank you. I think that's a very important point, especially coming from one of our main judge for this hackathon. So I hope you guys are paying attention and taking notes on that, on Shailesh's point. But thank you, Shailesh. It's like sharing a cheat sheet for like an exam, you know. Okay, we've got a view from a judge. So now I would like to turn the table to Melvin to take up his view on a mentor perspective. So what are the main mistakes that you've seen over the years with our past participants?
Okay. So again, just repeating Shazlin's point on, I think Shailesh shared a lot of Candy's point. I think for you guys to win this hackathon, you do take note, probably play back a couple of times to make sure that you actually strike all those pointers, right? Okay, so coming back to the mentors, so I won't talk more about the how is it going to be judged, but more towards the execution part during the day itself, right? So I think there's a couple of them. I will just name a few that you know, some of the sort of kind of a challenge during the hackathon itself. So number one is basically this is a hackathon. It's a sprint. It's not a marathon, right? So it's always looking at the main problem statement and also all the Candy's point that Shailesh mentioned earlier. Try to go within that, right? And try to build a roadmap of what you're trying to execute within this limited time, right? Because time is so limited that every minute counts on every decision you made to actually achieve for this hackathon, right? So don't just come in here, straight on, open up a laptop, setting up an environment, straight code, right? So think about having conversation with the judges and all to get about all this Candy's point to make sure that what you're building is actually is aligned with the hackathon team as well, right? So the tip is, don't straight dive into coding, but have more conversation through and then plan ahead of time, right? So that's one tip. Second is, we are here to not build a KLCC, right? We are here to build a just nice enough of a rumah kampung, in the Malaysian term of village houses, just enough to serve the value of the hackathon itself, right? Let's not go complicated, think of all sort of architecture. Oh, I need this sort of big database, I need sort of this. Don't overcomplicate things. Still stick on to what is the aim of the hackathon and team. Keep it lean, as long as it shows the value, that's it. Don't overcomplicate things. And one of the key one I want to also mention, this is what we observed during the team as well, right? I call it a silent genius dilemma. And how this works is, during a team when they goes in the hackathon, there's definitely conflicts happens when, you know, ideas doesn't sync up and people start challenging, start maybe quarreling, right? And that's where the silent genius will start to step back and sort of, okay, I'll let you do it all, right? So what I'm trying to say here is, this hackathon is all about your team, right? Like what Shailesh mentioned as well. The right team composition has to come together to see every strength of your team to come in to contribute for this your solution that you're presenting, right? So don't always left out any of your team member, which probably could be a genius itself. Let's not keep them in silent. All hear about all the voices of the team, come together and challenge for this hackathon, right? And then last but not least is the, and I believe probably you were seeing Ray, last year, I still remember a couple of them didn't really sleep at all, right? And the next day they go into the pitch, they literally looks like a zombie. So rest is very key point here. I know it's probably 24 hours or 48 hours, depend. The time is limit, right? So, but don't forget about your rest. Rest is also one of key crucial that you don't want to present in a zombie, state of yours. So be there. Keep it energetic. I know we probably will serve a lot of Red Bull or a lot of energetic drinks, but don't overconsume and forget about your rest, right? So plan it ahead of time and then come in, challenge it, keep it lean, rest well, and nail the presentation for the hackathon itself. That's my tips.
Rest and come for 24 hours.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. I think it's really also a big important point that you need to take care of your health. Buck up on vitamin C. I mean, don't drink too much Red Bull. It's not healthy. The diabetes you're gonna get from it. And Maggie. I know you guys consume Maggie like as dinner. Ray, did you do that?
That's for you.
Yeah, so I think it's really important for you to make friends, make new connections, have fun, and not to be too rigid on just winning the hackathon. You should be having a lot of fun as well because it's a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity. We have this once-a-year thing. So it's a good opportunity for you to make friends, to build up your new connections, and remember to take care of your health during the 24-hour hackathon. You need rest as well, so please sleep, okay? All right, I want to circle this back to Ray. Yep. So Ray, I don't know if you're okay with me pointing this out, but I know your team didn't win for the hackathon, right?
Right.
What number did you guys get? Were you on top 10, top 5, top 3?
No, we did not reach the top 10. We
Okay.
were top 40 when we came in.
Okay.
So, and then after that, we had like the semi-final round, so where the mentors and judges kind of circulate around the area, and then from there they narrowed down to top 10. So
Okay.
I wasn't part of the top 10. My team was part
I
of the
see.
top 10.
That's really an amazing thing to know, because at the end, Ray was hired as one of our talent members. I mean, he didn't even get into top 10, and he's hired by our hiring team, which is congratulations. I mean,
Thank you.
must have like a very big personality. Right?
I hope so.
He is.
Thank
He's like,
you.
we're very proud of him. He's like one of our best members ever. Just from that, okay, so kidding. Calm down, Ray. It's okay.
Too many compliments. I can't take it.
Oh my god. Okay, with that, Ray, so as I said, you are our living success stories, right? Could you share with us or with the audience, what was your experience like working with us or working with Hong Leong Bank after you joining Hackathon?
One word: amazing.
That's it.
I've been blessed to be in a team with various supportive team members like Shazlin over here. I have really good seniors like Melvin and Sailesh has always been guiding us throughout. I would say I've been here for 6 to 7 months right now. So my journey here has been fun, has been creative, has been really out of the box. I'm able to voice out my opinions, my thoughts, my ideas in a really unique way. So it comes back to again like voicing out our concerns, opinions, right? And how can we align it back maybe to the bank's compliance or regulations? It's something that you shouldn't be restricted on, and I'm really grateful that I've been in this team where I've also worked with Melvin for for this project as well. So really thank you for that. And then Sailesh has been giving us a lot of feedback, good feedbacks in terms of the execution, because this is the time where we are introducing a new mechanic, which is the facilitators that I mentioned. So a lot of support in this internally within the department, the Digital Innovation Office, and also externally. So yeah, I will say one word: amazing.
Would you say that not winning the hackathon is worth it? Because you got...
You caught me off guard there.
She's rubbing it in.
Yeah, she's like, oh, she's rubbing it in the salt. Okay, that depends, because I think when I came in, my idea was just to engage with many people
Yeah.
as possible, right? Like what you mentioned, it's once in a year or once in a lifetime kind of opportunity. If you miss it, you have to wait for the next year, right? So I was doing in my final year during that time. So I came in, I wanted one thing and one thing only: make as many networks as possible, gain many interesting, like-minded friends in the process, see what they are better in compared to me. Maybe they're good in networking, they're good in coding, they're good in presentation. Absorb as many things as possible and leave the environment with a compelled or fulfilled heart. So for me, my objective wasn't to win the hackathon. It was to learn things, right? But it could be different for you guys at home. It can be to learn, it can be to win. You know, you really want the cash prize. You're probably going to use it for something beneficial in your life. You really want to pay off a loan. I understand student loan is very expensive nowadays, so you probably want to do that, which is fine. But at the end of the day, you have to also learn, absorb as many things as possible during the hackathon.
All right, thank you so much. It's okay, you're a winner to us.
Oh,
okay.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Okay. Thank you so much to our panelists for providing a very insightful take into the environment of the hackathon. I think I would like to move forward to our next topic, which is the problem statements. So I think for this session, it'll be a little bit technical, and we just want to share a little bit more so that we can brief and share and explain a little bit more on our problem statements to our participants. So let's start the session with Shailesh. What are some of the innovations that you hope to see out of this year's hackathon? I would say with the problem statement, with the given problem statements.
So I think this is a very tricky question, right? If I knew, we wouldn't do this.
It's true.
If I knew the answer to what we will get, we don't need the hackathon. So it's actually up to the participants to take a look at the problem statements and come up with something else if you don't like any of the statements that the team has given, and then to see how far you can push it and how crazy you can get with a solution that is commercially viable and will add value to the customer and the bank. I think that's the key. It could be the cutest thing out there, but it's not usable. It could be the best thing out there, can't commercialize it. So it has to have some value at the end, right? But that's the trick. And again, I recognize it's a 24-hour journey, so you may not have a fully baked solution, but at least when you go through the experience, when you share what you're doing, when you share, let's say, a piece of the puzzle, and you say this could go from here to there, that brings it to life, that the thought process was started from here and it goes on till here. You only had 24 hours to get to a certain stage in the journey, but there is an end objective which is commercializable. So I think that's the key across all the statements that you have, and I keep repeating. There's a reason I keep saying that. If you don't like any of the problem statements, don't worry. Go out of the box, come up with your own, right? But it has to add value to the bank and the bank's customer. That's the key for us.
Thank you for that. I think, yeah, I agree with you, because I wouldn't want the participant to restrict themselves with the problem statement itself. You can use the problem statements as a guideline for you to create something else. So we hope, the one thing that I always wonder, I hope that the problem statement does not scare our participants, because you don't have to just rely on our problem statement itself. We can go beyond it, and we hope that's what we see as Shailesh mentioned. We hope that's what we will observe during the hackathon itself. And with this question, I'd like to ask Melvin, because I know, Melvin, you've joined a few hackathons during your younger years.
Well,
Okay, are you young? How old are you?
Still young at heart.
Still young, you're younger. I'm sorry, I will not mention age. So if you were a participant, how would you, I would say, choose your desired problem statements?
Okay, so and this time around we have a couple of problem statement that's two sides of things. One is actually to the bank customer, and also one is actually on the employee sides, right? And knowing enough, so being a fresh mind of having participants joining, probably first time or maybe a seasonal hackers that have gone through many hackathons. But one key thing of all your problem statement is, this is where the key part of what Ray, come on, sorry.
Oh, no.
That's why.
So Ray has mentioned about the design thinking part, right? So leverage of this to really get the facilitator to kind of help you to frame the whole the answers for your problem statement and be creative around it, like what Shazi mentioned. And this is where we want to be using as much of the keywords will be leveraging a lot of resources is given to you, because knowing a lot of hackathons that straight on problem statement, guys, this is a space, done, right? So this is where we kind of do it differently this year, and this is where and it's going to be a very, very great advantage for the hackers this time to leverage this facilitator to craft out something that's really close to this problem statement as well, right? So, and I think another side of things is the employee. Probably maybe most of the hackers that we had before, which is going to be quite young, is probably students and probably just fresh from the workforce. This is where they probably like, I'm not sure what sort of employees it's all about. And this is where you also can get most out from the mentors and the facilitators. Get all these pointers from them to firm your answers better and the solution better for the hackathon itself. So stay engaged. And again, don't straight on flip up your laptop, start coding already. That's not the intent of the hackathon. But this is where you're trying to get more of the context and leverage of a lot of these tools, and also the advantage we've given to the hackers this year, right? So this is one of my key things, is always leverage whatever resource you have during the hackathons. Don't overstrain yourself. Try to network, get your mentors, because at the end of the day, some of the judges will be there, so giving you all the goodies points as well. So leverage. So that's my key things about.
Okay, that's a good point.
Session.
I'm going to ask the same question to you, Ray, because you joined last year. So how did you approach to the problem statements?
Right. I think what struck me the most was the term metaverse, because like I mentioned, I study virtual reality. So during my 3 years of my time, we were focused in the aspect of metaverse, game development. It was something right up my league. So when I saw the term metaverse, I was like, hey, let's give it a shot. And coming back, how would I want to reimagine the banking experience, right? I think that was also the tagline. I said, reimagining the banking experience through metaverse and hyper-personalization. So as someone using like mobile application, everything's mostly digital nowadays, how would I reimagine it using the metaverse? So that was one of the thought process that I looked into and kind of curated my solution based on it. So gamification elements, everyone is now very interested in the element of gamification, personalization of their avatars. So like 3D avatars is a thing now. So how do I incorporate all of that to kind of form like a virtual gaming platform for the bank? So that's how I tackled it with my team.
Okay. Oh, okay. I think we have a few takes on like the judges' view, the past participant view, and also a mentor's view on the hackathon, the problem statements. We are actually going to wrap up soon, but I would like to remind our audiences that if you'd want to check out our FAQs, our problem statements, the details of our website, if you're on mobile, it's actually linked under our live. I think it should be there, yeah. And if you're viewing on broadcast on FB Live, I think we should have like a poster up, and there's a QR code for you to scan. So please scan ahead, register yourself. If you have any questions, remember we have a session after this for the Q&A session. If you're too shy to ask on the comment, you can email it to us. We also have our contact info on our website. So please do make use of our website and everything, and we'll get to you with your questions at the end of this session. All right? So, how do we feel so far about this?
Great.
Great?
Yeah.
Pumped up?
Yeah, pumped up. Can't wait.
Yeah, we are super excited. So, so our application is still ongoing. We're closing on the 13th of November. So we hope you guys will register quickly, and we'll announce it as soon as we can. I think a few days after the application closes. If you're selected, we will contact you, we will email you, call you. So remember to we also have a session where you can upload your deck on your project. And remember, I hope you guys are paying attention. Don't restrain yourself to the problem statements that we have. Think outside the box of what Shailesh and Melvin has mentioned. And we hope that this session was very beneficial for you guys. So to wrap up, so sad, we're almost ending this. This is actually quite fun doing I have fun doing this. So to wrap up, let's start with Ray.
Yep.
We'll go from like
Okay, that's right.
let's go with the youngest, huh? So Ray, I'm sorry, Shailesh.
Wow, attacking us from all angles.
No. Okay. Ray,
Right.
in one line,
Right.
what is the one piece of advice that you have for our audiences today who are interested to join this year's Can You Hack It Hackathon?
I think summing it up, I think this is also one of our taglines. Ideate, disrupt, and innovate. So come up with new ideas, disrupt it, like what Shailesh mentioned. Don't be constrained with too much of the banking regulation and regulations and compliance and all that unnecessary things. Come in with your idea, disrupt the way it is, and innovate what we currently have, make it something better.
Thank you. Short and sweet. Yeah. And Melvin, in one line, same thing.
Okay, so really be creative. Don't stuck yourself in a box. Leverage. Try to be crazy about the ideas, but not too overcomplicate it, right? So key things: don't overcomplicate it. Lean, and get rest well and go strong with your team.
Thank you, Melvin. And last but not least,
The
Shailesh.
oldest. I think
Wisest.
to me, pay attention to what these two said. But the biggest thing is enjoy the experience. You know, it should be fun. You're not coming to the office for a 9-to-5 job. You are coming in for a fun experience. So make the best of it. I think there were sprinkles of this stuff. You know, this is a great opportunity to meet like-minded people, to learn, to share, to network. So do that. You don't get these kind of opportunities on a daily basis. Whether you are a student, whether you're working somewhere, whether you're in between, in transit, whatever it is, enjoy the experience, make the best of the time here, and best of luck.
Thank you so much for that very nice, concise closing remarks. So I would like to say thank you. I want to express my gratitude to our panelists today, to our audience members who is watching us live. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's give our panelists a virtual round of applause. A virtual one.
Thank you for having us.
So, yeah, thank you to our organizers and also to our team members for having this. We hope this has been a beneficial and insightful session for you guys to learn a little bit more on our Can You Hack It hackathon hosted by Hong Leong Bank. So before we wrap up, we have a video, our highlight video. So we want to showcase our highlight video for last year. So stay tuned. Right after the video, we'll be continue with the Ask Me Anything session.
And try to spot me in the last year videos.
Extra points, huh? Okay.
Extra points, yeah.
Thank you so much and enjoy the video.
Hello everyone. What's unique about this one is a special theme, which I'm made to believe is the first of its kind ever being done in Malaysia.
Once again, it was a very, very good event. The ideas that have come out have been, once again, fantastic. I think this year was probably one of the better ones. There's a lot more collaboration, and I think it's because of the ideas that have come out. I saw the stuff on the metaverse, it opened my eyes to it. I think there was thought patterns that I hadn't seen before about potentially bridging technologies, which was very good this year. I think it's new, where cloud was 20 years ago. It's discussed, but there's nothing tangible yet. And I think that was really good to see everyone sort of come out and give their views on it.
It's amazing to be able to have this event face-to-face after a couple of years where everything is virtual. And it's even more amazing to see virtual propositions table face-to-face. The ideas were amazing, and I think year on year, not only does the event get better, but the quality of the participants, contestants and ideas are getting much, much better and even more practical for our implementation. So we look forward to seeing it again, and hopefully it's a way for us to take some ideas, bring them to life and find a way to help us make a better bank and serve our customers better.
Okay, so I think it was total fun. I think the energy was fantastic, the vibes were fantastic, the participants were really, really high quality this time around. And I think this time around we've got some really good ideas that we can take back and start to make it happen.
Okay, audio is good? Okay. Can go live now. Can do the countdown. Hi guys, welcome back to the Can You Hack It 2023 AMA session. All right, so my name is Inbaraj from JomHack, and I think if you guys regularly join hackathons or if you have joined the previous Can You Hack It events, you would have met me. If not, you will meet me this year, right, if you guys get in. So while we are waiting for the questions to come in, I will talk a bit about the event. And if you have any questions related to the Can You Hack It 2023 hackathon, just post it on the chat. Just leave it as a comment, and I'll be reading your comment here, and then I'll try to answer as much as possible, right? Okay, so the main thing is the application is open the stream on your mobile, for example, right? If you just look at the bottom corner, you can see the link. You click on it, it goes straight to the Can You Hack It 2023 website. All the info that you need is there, right? All the info is there. You can read about the event, the format, the dates, all the key dates that you need to know, and then you can fill up the application. It's as simple as that. Of course, it's not first come, first serve, right? We want to still select the best of the best to join the event. So don't just sign up and show up. It doesn't work that way. You have to apply, right? If you get shortlisted, we will invite you to join the event. So just to briefly go on the format. This year, we're actually doing something different, right? So if you have joined the previous formats or joined any other hackathons, a virtual hackathon, a physical or hybrid, it's always either a fully physical hackathon or a fully virtual hackathon, or we do a virtual hackathon with just a demo day as the physical event. But this time, we're actually doing something different. It's a totally new format. We have a virtual and a physical hackathon. So you will be involved in 2 hackathons. So what's the difference? We want to really focus on ideation, right? So what we realize is sometimes a hackathon can be too hectic, too quick. There's just not enough time because some people come with great ideas, great solutions. They are very ambitious, but they simply don't have enough time to execute the ideas, and we understand that. And during a virtual hackathon, typically teams get a bit more time, but this time we want to combine it, right? Because we still want that great physical hackathon experience as well. So which is why we have split the format, which is happening on the 18th and 19th of November, right? So this will be a fully virtual hackathon, Saturday, Sunday, 24-hour hackathon, but the main focus here will be the ideation and the solution itself. So at this point, you don't have to build anything yet. So that's the focus, right? We don't need to straight, like what the panelists said earlier, right? If you guys were tuning in, don't just open your laptop straight away, start coding, right? Really focus on the problem statement, zoom in into the right pain point, think about problems that people would really pay for example, right? Something serious, something people really need. Mentors come in, right? You guys get to talk to our amazing mentors. So we will curate an amazing lineup of mentors, right? There'll be people who are from Hong Leong Bank, of course, and also from the industry. We'll bring in like entrepreneurs and startup entrepreneurs, people who invest in startups, people who coach entrepreneurs and businesses. So these are people who have been there, done that, they know how this works, right? And also the expertise of the bank itself. So we will have a huge lineup of mentors from Hong Leong Bank to guide you guys. So then you will know statements, which is on the website. You guys can go read it now. We have 2 main categories, which is customer experience and one is workplace experience. So you can come and use the generative AI technology to improve either the customer experience for the bank or workplace experience. So this is obviously related more to HR, probably recruitment, anything that you deal in a workplace, right? And if you work in a big corporate or MNC, of course, the experience might be a bit different, but I'm sure most solutions will be applicable across the board. So, but that's up to you guys, right? To come, you can just send it to somebody and say, hey, build exactly what we want. But that's not a hackathon is all about, right? A hackathon is about innovation. It's about putting a platform, or creating a platform where talented people can come and explore new innovation. And that's what Can You Hack It is all about. It's a platform of opportunities for you guys to come and explore what kind of talent that you guys have, and then show it to us so that we can then select the best projects and see where we can take it, right? So the 6 problem statements we have, 3 under, and once you have a solution that is aligned to one of these problem statements, then work on a mock-up. So for the virtual hackathon, you will get to a point where we have to build a mock-up, right? So you come up with a great solution, and then you have to come up with a mock-up. So the mock-up is basically just to show the judges, hey, this is what I'm going to build, right? So you stop at that point. So you don't have to code it yet. So based on this, we will select the top 30 teams. But of course, you need to be able to build it, right? So don't come thinking that, hey, for the first terms and conditions, it's very clear, or the FAQ, it is very clear. If you want to join Can You Hack It, you need to have coding abilities, right? So at least one member in the team or more must be a coder, so you guys are able to build a prototype that works. But it's just that at the virtual hackathon at stage 1, you don't have to build it yet. Focus more on the ideation, focus more on the solution, come up with something really cool, But it has to be something workable, right? It has to be something that can be built. So don't think of, things that are, because it's easy to come up with ideas, right? Sometimes it's very easy to come up with ideas. It's very easy to put things on a PowerPoint. But if you are not able to execute it, then it's pointless. So come up with an idea which is workable, which is practical, which can be built over the next 24 hours. So at this point, if you get shortlisted, you will make it to the top 30. And then when you go to the semi-finals and grand finals, which is happening on the 25th and 26th of November, that is the physical hackathon. So the top 30 teams, once you get selected, you will be then invited to come live to you. And you will be coming here to join in a physical hackathon. So 24-hour physical hackathon. If you guys have joined a physical hackathon before, you know how it goes. The excitement, the anticipation, the exhilaration. You will go through all that. Of course, we will try to create an amazing hackathon experience for you so that when you come here, you get to learn something new, you get to have a great experience, you get to network, like what Ray said earlier, right? The experience is not just about building, staring at your screen. It's a lot more than that, right? It's way bigger than that. So experience, learning is very important. Building and executing your project is very important. End of the day, to me, the cash prizes is always just the bonus, right? The cash prize should not be the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is always what comes beyond that. The opportunities, right? Because like I said, CanYouHackIt is a platform for opportunities. You're looking at job opportunities, career opportunities, right? Or business opportunities. Maybe you get to do a pilot project with Hong Leong Bank. Maybe you get to either join them, right? Or work together in some other capacity. So we are looking at all kinds of cash prize, right? So if you're here just to win a cash prize and go back, we can't stop you, but that's not the focus, because we want to create better opportunities for the talents that we have, right? So come with that in mind. Not just the cash prize. To me, the cash prize, like I said, is always just a bonus. If you win, cash prize is great, but look at Ray, like what he said earlier, right? Although he didn't make it to the top 10, but he's living his life right now. Smiling at me right now. All right. Okay, guys, so I think earlier I did see a question in the chat. Let me just scroll up. All right. So what should be the first focus of the upcoming hackathon participants? Okay, what is the first focus for the upcoming hackathon when it comes to coming up with a solution? All right, so like I said, there is two different focus, right? At stage 1 and stage 2. So at stage 1, the focus is the ideation itself, the solution, basically what you are trying to build or what you want to build is solve this problem that you have identified. And you stop at the mock-up stage, right? You create a mock-up to show the judges that, hey, this is my solution, this is how I want to build it. Once you get selected, you're in the top 30, you will be coming for the physical hackathon, where the top 30 teams then will build it. So over the next 24 hours, you will be guided as well with another lineup of mentors to make sure that you're able to execute this idea. So this is where you build the idea, a working prototype. So at this point, we no longer entertain mock-ups. We don't want to see just designs on a PowerPoint slide. We want you to build a working prototype. So whatever you guys came up with the week before, now you should be able to build it. At this point, and then we will select the top 10. So the top 10 teams, then with this, the criteria will be a bit more wholesome, right? We are looking at your ideation, we are looking at your problem statement, of course problem statement first, then the ideation itself, how innovative it is, and then we're looking at the business value, right? Like Sailesh said earlier, right? If you build something cool but nobody can use it, or it's not useful to anyone, what's the point, right? So you have to build something that's useful. It must have some kind of business value, must have some kind of commercial value, and then build it. The working prototype, and also the talent in the team, and then we want to see how you present it as well. So that will be a bit more wholesome, the criteria, and based on that, we will select the top 10, and the top 10 teams will then get to present it to the grand judges. So you will be in the finals on stage presenting to the grand judges. I can't confirm this, but I have a feeling Sailesh will be one of the grand judges. So you guys heard him, you got some tips from him. So if you want to impress a grand judge, you have to take in all those tips, right? So you guys can take in all what he said earlier. That should give you a great direction on how you want to approach this project. All right, so in terms of the prizes, you guys can see it on the website itself. There is a cash prize. The first prize, the first team that wins the first prize will walk away with 10,000 ringgit in cash. The second prize will be 5,000 ringgit in cash. And the third prize will be 2,500 ringgit in cash. And also we have consolation prizes. And we also have some giveaways and awards during the event itself. So come and really enjoy the event. Anything else you need to know? If you guys don't want to ask a question now, it's actually on the website. So our FAQ is pretty extensive. So all the really important information that you need to know, it's on the FAQ. For team, of course, it's minimum 3, maximum 5. So you can have a team of 5. But please remember that if you make it to the top 30 for the physical event, only 3 of the members will be allowed to come and join us for the physical event. The remaining 3 members will be allowed to join us for the physical session here, right? But for your team, you can have up to 5. But the minimum must be 3, right? Less than 3 is not a team. So individual participants, we don't accept. But if you guys are solo, you can PM us. If you really can't find a teammate, you don't have friends who are interested to join something like this, we will try to help you. You can go to the Can You Hack It Facebook page, PM us. We'll try to connect you with other people who are interested, or maybe use some of the tech mates, right? Otherwise, I would suggest please find your own team, gather up, assemble a bunch of friends who have different talents, who can come together and build something really cool, right? So for the physical event itself, you make it to the top 30. If you have joined the physical hackathon before, you will know. It is basically tech camping, that's what I like to call it. So tech camping, where when you come here, 24 hours, you'll be here in the venue. So you have to bring your own sleeping bags, but everything else will be provided. So your workplace, your workstation, Wi-Fi, power plugs, shower facilities, all will be provided. Of course, food, right? So you will have enough food. Like Melvin said earlier, don't worry about food. So you will be given all the main meals, snacks, drinks, and whatever you need to make sure that you stay up and you're able to complete your projects, right? But time management, of course, that's part of the skill of running, joining a hackathon, right? So as a team, you have to manage your time and make sure that you guys can get there. For the virtual part, you will be connecting from home remotely. So whether you all plan to sit together and then connect online, or you can connect remotely connect from different locations, that's fine, as long as all the members join in, because we will be checking your check-in, right, your login. So you must be logged into the virtual event platform to make sure that your attendance is recorded, and you have to participate in the virtual event itself, so that when you go through the 24 hours and participate in all the demo day on Sunday, right, on the 19th of November. Right, so that's most of the important info. All right, so can we sleep there? Of course, if you make it to the top 30, the physical hackathon, sleeping corner will be provided, but of course we won't be providing any hotel rooms or any of those kind of facilities. It's a hackathon, right? Like I said, it's tech camping. So during a hackathon, usually we will allocate a sleeping corner to give you some privacy, but for your own comfort, we will bring a pop-up tent, but please don't bring like humongous, gigantic tents, small tents, maybe a 2-pack tent, 3-pack tent, just something nice for you to sleep, so that then you can take your power naps and then continue with the hackathon. Right. What should we bring to the physical event? Right, so if you're very new, again, Gan Zimin, I guess you have never joined a physical event before. A physical hackathon normally is very intense. You may not have time to do anything, barely have time to eat, because everyone is rushing to finish up their projects, right? But of course, we will make sure that you have all the facilities you need. So you can bring your own toiletries, your personal hygiene kits, your sleeping bags, your own tents, if necessary. If you need a pillow, you can bring a pillow. Ideally, you know, if it's a blow-up pillow, things like that, something portable, it's much better, because, you know, you can't bring in a trolley here into the building. So you have to bring something and put on a backpack. So if you guys go camping, it'll be easy. I'm sure you have all these things. Otherwise, you can always buy something simple to bring. We will give you another briefing where we'll give full details on everything you need, how to get here, and how to participate in this event, right? All the ground rules, the house rules, everything you need to know. So if you make it into the top 30, you will get all those details. But for now, it's all about applications. So the main thing you need to do is go to the website, click on the link, hlb.com.my/HLB Can You Hack It. Just click on the link, go to the website, read everything you need to know about the event, especially the terms and conditions, right? Like I said earlier, it's not a first come, first serve basis. It is an application format, so you need to apply, and we will shortlist the best teams, or the teams we feel has the right qualifications to come and participate in this event. So again, the theme is pretty clear, right? Generative AI. That's what we want to see, unleashing the potential of generative AI, especially for the banking sector. So that's what we want to know. How can we improve? One is customer experience, and things, these are the main categories. How can we improve this using generative AI technology? So if you are dabbling into anything related to AI, I'm sure you are interested. you want to come and show your talent, you want to explore something, or maybe you want to have fun and try some new ideas that you have in mind. You could be building your own startup, you could be working on your own project, but maybe you have this great AI related idea that you want to test out. This is a great platform for you guys to come and test that out, right? And if it works out, you never know, there might be a lot of opportunities. What kind of support do we get during the hackathon? All right, so usually during a hackathon, we do have a great lineup of mentors, like I said earlier. During the virtual hackathon, we have, I would say, probably about almost 40 mentors, 40 to 50 mentors who will be participating in the event. So every team will get to talk to at least, I would say, about 2 to 3 mentors or even more. So mentors will be coming in to guide the teams, especially in terms of ideation, right? Think problem statement, also that you have zoomed in a great pain point, and to see whether the solution you come up with, is it practical, is it feasible, is it something that actually solves the problem? So the mentors will kind of help you to make sure that you get the basics right? And then they will also help you with execution, right? So a lot of the mentors can give you the right way to build it, or what is the fastest way to build it, what kind of framework, what kind of programming languages, or what kind of widgets, tools, APIs, what would help you to build this fast, where do you generate maybe mock data for you to use, or what kind of third-party tools that are available out there that can maybe accelerate the process of building that the prototype. So a lot of these things, our mentors will be able to help you. But of course, mentors are there to help you if you need something, right? So the mentors are not going to come to you and then just lecture you. So this is where the teams have to also know how to ask the right questions. So we will brief this as well, right? So if you get selected to join we will kind of guide you on this as well, right? How do you then talk to a mentor, how to ask the right questions. So what kind of things that you have to ask the mentor so that the mentors can guide you in the right way. Because we did notice in our previous events, sometimes teams do not know how to engage a mentor. Teams don't know how to ask the right questions. So when the mentors go to them, they're actually not very useful because the teams are not able to get anything useful out of the mentors. Although the mentors could be really knowledgeable and very experienced, but just because the teams don't know how to ask the right questions, they usually don't get the right information. So if you're a bit of a newbie, maybe it's your first time, or you're very inexperienced, don't worry, you can always reach out to the team, the organizing team, or any of the mentors. Just be honest, just be upfront, just tell them that you need a bit more help, you need a bit more guidance, and we will be there to assist you, right? So if it's your first time and you get selected to join CanYouHackIt 2023, don't worry about it. We will be there all the way to support you in whatever you need, right? And even in terms of food. So if you guys are, for example, if you're vegetarian, for example, right? Let us know. Or there's certain things that, you can't eat, or things like that. Let us know earlier. We will try to accommodate as much as possible, but that's for the physical stage, right? If you make it to the top 30, then we will get to that point. But at this stage now, for the virtual hackathon, make sure put your applications in so that if you get selected, we will invite you to the virtual event where you'll be joining in remotely. We'll go through a 24-hour process where we want to select the top 30. All right, so for the virtual hackathon, for the virtual event, you don't actually have to be logged in the whole time, because during the hackathon, there'll be different activities that'll be happening. Of course, most of it, the bulk of it is going to be on your own, right, with your team. So during the hacking process, where you're actually coming up with ideas and all that, you don't have to actually do it on the virtual event platform. You can even do it offline. If you guys are all sitting together in the same physical space, then you don't even have to be logged in, right? But for all the main sessions, for example, like all the key briefing, the mentor will be logged in and available at your virtual tables. So if you're not there, then for example, if the mentor comes in, they won't be able to assist you, right? And they're not going to log in exactly at the time that you are available. So you have to follow the schedule. So if you get selected to join this event, you will get the full briefing and also the schedule. So you know exactly at what time what will happen. So we will require all the teams to be available on the virtual event platform at all the key sessions. So as long as you cover all the key sessions, you're good to go. But the virtual event platform actually has a great virtual table. A lot of teams actually spend the whole 24 hours at the table because we are connected there on video and they are collaborating and doing work. And that also allows us to, come in and jump in and support you guys whenever you need. And because although we have specific mentor hours, many of our mentors usually will come in and out whenever they're available. So sometimes they are available throughout the 24 hours as well. So the mentors will also come in and see if any of the teams are connected. You're logged in, you're online on the platform. They will come and check in on your progress. They will come to assist you. So you will always have them, but you have to at least be there for all the key activities. All right, let me just. How can my friends who are not participating watch the session? All right, so for the virtual event, right, it is a limited program because it is a private event. So only those who are selected to join, the shortlisted teams will be allowed to participate in this program, right? So we won't be broadcasting it anywhere live. It won't be on Facebook Live or anywhere in public. It is only private, so only those who are involved in the event, the participating teams, the mentors, the organizing team, the crew, these are the only people who will be allowed access, and you will be restricted within that platform, right? So you won't be published anywhere live. And after that, if you make it to the physical event, then you will be here physically with us, and then we will brief you further on how that goes. All right, let me just scroll. Right, so Khairul Nazran gave a great tip: save the Red Bull for right before the pitch. All right, yeah, so that's a good tip actually. Don't load up on too much sugar because you don't want to crash. So if you can, wait till the last minute when you need that final push, maybe have a Red Bull or some kind of nice sugary drink to give you that rush so that you do your pitch, because that's the key, right? The key point is always the pitching session, because we do allow the teams to do a live demo to the judges, right? So even during the virtual stage, although you're connected virtually on the screen demo, so you have to be on point because there will be a live Q&A as well. So the moment you finish your pitching, the judges will ask you questions live, and you'll get to cover that so that the judges really understand what you have built and why you have built it. So you get to justify, because sometimes if it's not a bit clear, the judges will have a lot of questions, especially if the project is interesting and they want to know more. So that will allow the judges to understand your project better, and then they can score it well, right? Because that will definitely get you into the next stage. So that's very important. You need to be on point for the demo. At the demo day, you're not on point, that will be very wasteful. All right. Actually, there are a lot of other tips as well. Interesting. So if you guys are interested in all the tips, you can scroll up the chat. There's some of the members have probably joined other hackathons, previous hackathons, so they've put in some tips for you guys to know. All right, so we are nearing the end of the session. If you have any more questions, do post it in the chat. Otherwise, you can directly hlb.com.my/hlb Can You Hack It. That's the landing page for Can You Hack It 2023. All the information you need to know are available on the website. So just go to the website, read up about all the terms and conditions, the format, the prizes, the FAQ, everything is covered. But if there is anything that is not on the website, right, that you're unsure, you need more clarification, you can always PM us on the Can You Hack It Facebook page, or you can email us directly. The email is also given on the Facebook page, the About section. The email is there. You can email directly to the hackathon team, and you will get the answers, right? So before you put in the applications, if you need any clarification, go to the email or just PM us directly on the Facebook page, and we'll try to get all the answers to you as quickly as possible so that you can put in your application. All right, so let's maybe give it a few more minutes. Problem statement, just to remind you guys, the problem statement's actually already available on the website. So if you want to see the problem statement first, just go to the website, check it out, and then if you feel like it's something interesting, there's something there that you really want to tackle, a problem statement you want to solve, then you can go in and quickly apply. But if it doesn't matter, you just want to be involved because it's generative AI, then straight away just go to the application form and put in your application. All right? So the problem statements are going to be very interesting because we have divided into two main: customer experience for the bank, or workplace experience, which I would say a bit more universal. If you have any great ideas, it could be something that you're already working on right now that you want to adapt to this event, or it could be something totally new. Either way, right? It's acceptable. If it's something cool, it's exciting, it's something nobody has seen before, we want to see it. So again, this is a platform for innovation. So we don't want you to come resell something that everybody has seen before. This is a platform for you to come and show us something amazing that nobody has seen before, right? So come, show it to us, and hopefully you will walk away with amazing cash prizes and also great opportunities from Hong Leong Bank, right? So I think with that, we can wrap up the session today. I think there's one last question. Will this webinar be available for watching after it ended? Yes. So this webinar will be available. The recorded session will remain on this page. So if you guys just tuned in once we end the broadcast, you can rewatch it from the beginning. Of course, we started the session today with the introduction to Can You Hack It from Calvin, information that was shared regarding Can You Hack It 2023, and also the previous events that we did. So you can watch that all again and then go to the website, read about the event, and put in your application, because the application ends on the 13th of November, so we don't have much time. You want to put your application as soon as possible, because we will be shortlisting the teams in batches, right? So the earlier you put in your application, the higher your chances to be shortlisted to the event. Don't wait until the last day, because by much tougher. So put in your applications as early as possible so that you have a higher chance of getting shortlisted, and you'll be able to join us on the 18th and 19th of November for the virtual event. And if you make it to the top 30, you will be joining us on the 25th and 26th of November right here at Hong Leong Tower for the physical hackathon, and we will be meeting you face to face, and hopefully that'll be an amazing showdown among all the teams, right? So with that, I think we can wrap up the session today. All good? All right, guys, so with that, I would like to say thank you again to everyone, and hopefully you guys at home enjoyed the session, learned something new today. And with this, I'm hoping to see all your applications coming in. And with that, I hope to see you at Can You Hack It 2023 at the physical segment. So put in your application now, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Thank you, guys.